CDH, and then they have a child with a CDH. Again, I just want to point out that I also have parents with a CDH who have not had children with a CDH. So it's not that every parent with a CDH will have a child with a CDH. But at this point, I have no tests that I can do for you to know what are the risks. And so it's through our study, I hope someday I'll be able to say to this individual, well, I know what the genetic cause of your CDH is, and so therefore I have a very sensitive test that I can do for you to identify whether or not your children are at risk. What we know is that likely these are the families that are going to get us to our answers the fastest, just because they have a little bit more information and that we know that there's likely some type of an inheritance or pattern that's present. We're still, I mean, we're interested in every single family, and as I said before, there's so many different causes. We're going to have to look at many different families to get to all the answers. But these families are especially. So I started to allude a little bit towards who we are, but last night I gave the full name, which is Diaphragmatic Hernia Research and Exploration Advancing Molecular Science, DHREAMS with me. So ultimately, what we are here for and what we're doing is we're trying to develop a better understanding of the molecular genetic basis of CDH. And molecular genetic basis basically means the genetic causes of congenital diaphragmatic hernia. And what we hope to do is provide physicians and researchers with the knowledge necessary to develop diagnosis, prognosis, and prevention. So we know that we can't do it alone. We hope our information, as we publish our information, will provide researchers with, oh, we know that children with this particular genetic cause have significant trouble with pulmonary hypertension. Well, is there something that we can do with this, knowing this genetic cause, to develop better medications or better interventions? When I know my patient has this particular genetic cause of congenital diaphragmatic hernia, what are the best treatments for them to do well? Or I know with this particular genetic cause, there's a higher risk for congenital heart defects, and so I know when I'm following a woman with a pregnancy with this particular genetic cause, I need to look for these particular congenital heart defects. So a lot of different things, and things that we haven't even thought of yet. We hope will come out of this. So what does this do for our participating families? So for immediate families, we hope we will, if we identify the genetic cause of congenital diaphragmatic hernia in your family, we will provide you with that information. You'll speak with a genetic counselor as well as a medical geneticist, and we'll give you everything that we know about that and how it may be important to your family. We'll provide you, using that information, we can provide you information about risk for future children, possible family planning options to have children who are not affected with a congenital diaphragmatic hernia. There are newfangled ways of having children that we won't even get into, but when we know what the genetic cause of the condition is. And then for your children, when they grow up and have children, their chance of their children being affected with the CDH. And then we're also doing this for future families. All of us have been through a really scary experience, or all of you have been through a scary experience that I'm sure you wouldn't wish on anybody. And so if there's anything that we can do to help everybody else we know this is something that's happening to so many different people, what we can do to help them through their diagnosis. So hopefully the information we gain through these families, we will be able to pass on to other families to help them. This is who we are. This is just at Columbia University. We actually have 6 other centers who are participating, but this is we have a surgeon, a geneticist, a developmental pediatrician, a cardiologist specializing in pulmonary hypertension, and a genetic counselor. And we duplicate this group of individuals at all of our centers across the country. So we're not quite across the country, but we're working on getting across the country. We seem to be clustered in the eastern half of the country right now. But these are the other sites who are who have the same team of individuals who are following their children with congenital diaphragmatic hernia at these institutions. And some of you, I'm actually not certain if anybody is actually from these institutions. Actually, I heard someone from Michigan last night, I think. It's fairly new, so most of your kids here are actually past the age of which the study started at these other institutions. So you may have said, why haven't I heard of it? We're also working on, hopefully, an institution in California, and also an institution in Tennessee. So who is eligible to participate? So that you guys are curious. any family who's had a child affected with congenital diaphragmatic hernia. Unfortunately, at this point, we are asking for the families of congenital diaphragmatic hernia survivors because we do need a genetic sample from the child who is affected. We, as I said before, families with multiple individuals affected with congenital diaphragmatic hernia. We also are recruiting adults who have had a history of congenital diaphragmatic hernia and individuals who are pregnant with their child. This is just showing where we're at right now. The dark blue states and province represent where families are from who are part of our study. So there's 250 participants from 25 different states. And 250 participants doesn't mean 250 families, or just full disclosure. This means that I'm counting child, mom, and dad. So what is involved is, it's about a 12-minute family history interview. So just when I was drawing all those circles and squares, that's what I do with every family who participates. I go back and I ask about all of your different family members. It's a small sample of blood from the child and the parents. And we're here to talk to anybody who's interested in participating. So this is just going to click through a couple of these. So we're on the web. I don't know if anybody's seen us. We're at www.cdhgenetics.com. And we go into more detail about what the study is, publications. There's my analogy with the encyclopedia books about genetics is all there, as well as links to other pages. We're also on Facebook. I have to say that I didn't truly understand the power of Facebook until we put our site up there, and it is amazing. I really have. People ask me what I did at work today, and I said I spent 3 hours on Facebook, and they look at me like, what were you doing at work? And I said, no, it was work. So we also would love to have, I know there's so many different resources out there for families who are sharing their information with other families, and so one of the things that we did is we're trying to create a central site. Not a central site, nothing, but if you would want to share your information on our site, we'll trade links back and forth on our pages. So I'm just going to hand this over to Marc for a bit.
Thank you again for inviting us to speak. I just wanted to go over some of a little bit more about the study itself, and then talk a little bit more about why we're doing it. So far, we've enrolled what's called 174 probands. Probands are the individuals who are actually affected by CDH. That's the scientific name for the proband. The neonatal probands, those are, we're enrolling rather 3 groups of probands, 3 groups of affected individuals. The largest and we think probably most important are the neonatal ones. So those are the ones that are entered into the study after they're born, but immediately after they're born, they're in the neonatal ICU. And the second group is what we call the child probands, or programs children who are enrolled in our study some point after that. So they've already had their surgery, obviously they're survivors, and they somehow find out about our study. In Colombia, we sent letters to all the children of the families of all the children who had diaphragmatic hernia for something like 10 years, asking them how they were and if they wanted to enroll in our study. And the third group are fetal terminations, either for whatever reason, and those are the samples that we're enrolling as well. Those we have linked into a larger